Hey. Alright, so I'm taking just a little walk today. I've been in the bed sick for the last 4 or 5 days. I had a cold starting 3 weeks ago, back when I was in Jerez, and it really knocked me out. I was bedridden in Jerez for 5 whole days, and then it came time to go to Barcelona, and I was feeling better, but still quite sick. Actually, that's not true. In Barcelona, I was feeling better and better. However, I had a really bad day when I first was traveling there. But here's the thing. Anyway, so I've gotten sick again, but when I am traveling like this, I'm really happy to be traveling, like ecstatic. How can you not be ecstatic here? Like, I brought myself here. I chose this place. I called out for healing from the universe, and the universe was like, here, come to Ferrera. And just because, I'm following my heart and things are going so well, it doesn't mean that I, in particular, this is how I am, doesn't mean that I'm not going to experience pain or suffering. And honestly, I came on this trip to get to the source of my pain and suffering, because, well, it's kind of time for it to stop being the story of my life. And pain and suffering has been the story of my life. Yeah, don't get me wrong. This is why most of the time you see me, I have a pretty good attitude, and I make some really magical stuff happen, because I know that I'm not in a war-torn country. I know that I'm not starving. I know that I have a lot of great things going for me. However, I have a fucking heavy heart, man. I grieve. I'm pained by events that happen. That happen in the world. I'm pained terribly by racism, by our political words. Oh, how pretty. Sorry, I got distracted and decided I'm going to go off the beaten path. That's the beautiful thing. A little waterfall. Oh. And that's quite sweet. Am I getting it? I don't know if I'm getting it or not. Yes. I'm going back on the road because I am not dressed appropriately for going off the beaten path. I learned on my first day here that you can totally, these mountains love you to go off the beaten path. The reason they love you to go off the beaten path is because nobody the fuck is up here. So locals or the occasional artist can come up here, and you have all of the Spanish Pyrenees to yourself. There aren't any tourists that come up here. There's no parking for tourists up here, People don't come up here. Yes. So it means that you can go off the beaten path. So, cut to the off the beaten path story. When I got here, the second day, the day after I had arrived, I went on a walk, and I said I was going to follow the trail, which I did, but because people don't use the trails, they're totally overgrown. You can't see the trails after certain points. And I found myself lost. And I had a sense that I can't really be lost here, but I felt quite intimidated because literally I could not find the trail. And so because you can go off the beaten path, you can follow animal trails, I started getting distracted and cut off or sidetracked by the animal trails. And so I found myself trying to climb a side of a mountain and just completely intimidated. So I was lost in the woods for about 2 hours, and nobody knew where I was because, nobody was around. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just go. And I told myself that I am going to, stay on the trail and come back. How hard is that? In California, that wouldn't be hard. We've got beautifully maintained trails. Here, the trails are just beautiful, not maintained. So as I sat there in the woods getting really panicky because I couldn't keep my footing, I was just highly insecure. I don't know how else to describe it. I was just frightened, terrified, and I didn't feel good on my feet. That stress, when I came back, I finally made my way back, but I had to go the long way. I had to go make my way back out the way I came and then walk all the way around the village. Ended up doing 16 miles on that day, but those were 16 hard miles. I don't mind hiking 16 miles. 16 miles on a well-maintained trail, I can totally do that, no problem. 16 miles where 2 hours of that is spent climbing trees and holding on for dear life as you go sliding down the side of a mountain. That's some different shit. That's not the same thing. So, excuse me. So, when I got back from that experience, I was really angry. My dialogue with the universe was, universe, you don't support me. See how I'm sliding down this hill and nothing's capturing me. But actually, every time I slid down the hill, there was always a tree behind me. That's a big nest right there. That's huge. Okay, I can't even begin to show you that. I don't have a camera that's good enough, but it's huge. There was always a tree behind me that would stop me from falling, from plummeting, And the fact is that as I'm on these hillsides, I'm surrounded by trees. And every time I would go too far, it felt like I couldn't hold on. There was a tree just maybe a little bit out of arm's reach, where all I had to do was leap a little bit. Let me tell you something. This trip to Ferrera is about me understanding that I am so fucking supported in this world. This universe is trying to get my knuckleheaded self to wake up and say, girl, leap. You don't need a net. You don't need a net to appear. Just take a leap, take a chance. Watch us support you. And you know what? If you fall, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? You get bruised. You get a little scratched up. So what? So the rest of this trip, not today because I'm still a little bit sick, but the rest of this trip is going to be about me taking some big risks in these mountains. This country, this land, has given me permission to use it. It said so. I heard it. It talks to me. And it said, use me. I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to serve everybody. But you're here right now. You're the ambassador. Come on and use it. Use me. So I'm going to be taking chances. I'm very wedded to the beauty of my skin. I know, because I was raised to take care of myself. My mom, when I was a kid, I wasn't supposed to run because I might fall and scratch up myself. Well, the thing that I've learned is that I'd rather have some scratched up skin and some deep, powerful experiences anytime. So I'm going to be navigating these hills. Don't worry, I will be safe. People will know where I am. I will, let people know what's going on. However, I'm going off the beaten path. I'm going to walk here. I'm going to follow the animal trails, And I went in to get some hiking boots, and I just couldn't do it because hiking boots feel so thick in the sole, and this earth is like, honey, you need to be barefoot out here. You need to be barefoot, feeling me, feeling your connection to earth, feeling your connection to the mother, to the divine self. That earth connection, that's the root chakra. That's where my healing needs to take place now, and that's why I'm here. This whole landscape could be painted red. Red is the color of the root chakra, but it's green, which is the color of the heart, which means that I am loved, so loved by this place, and it feels like it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can taste it. Sorry. Jesus, my cough. Right, so I guess it's time for me to sign off. All right, friends, thanks for listening. Checking in with you later. I'll let you know how my first fall goes. I'm going to be queen of these hills after a month. Watch me. Just watch. Hasta luego.